Okay, Trish, I guess we're ready for you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You will notice your packets look a little bit different. If you've had a chance to look at them, I'm trying to make them easier for you and a little more transparent. And I forgot to bring in the reserve books, but we'll get those in a little bit. Those are available. Small updates for the second warrant, no interest, of course, until the first of the month. So your second page has all your reserves on it. And then you'll have your information that comes in the warrant, because Betty requested that we could have that in the packet, so that's there. And then all the normal stuff that's usually there, so small changes.
I do like that, Trish. I like, so that you can literally see 6,025.09 interest accrued in January with all of them. That's awesome.
Yes, and of course, and that is January, as
Yep,
that's
yep.
stated correct. We'll have the new total the first of the month. And I'll credit Susan to putting all that stuff together for me, because
Snaps.
it's excellent. I help her to do that. Let's see. I've lost my keys, and so I'm a little
Is
depressed.
that them right here? Can you touch them?
You don't mind if I just get them so I
Yeah, I just touch it.
security blanket?
But I noticed that there was two of these over here and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to play with them or if I look like trouble that I need two over here or what.
Yeah,
Plus one.
yeah,
whatever.
you can, when he comes back, I'll ask him. One probably belongs up there, I think.
So as of yesterday, the county checkbook has a total of $676,666.70. The jail checkbook has a total of $120,498.81. I did have to borrow $150,000 out of the pan for the jail. And that once the checks go out today, that will take that account down to around a little under 10,000. So we're keeping it really close.
February, that's when we start borrowing.
Yeah, we're gonna do well on county. We probably won't borrow, I think, until the 1st of April, I'm hoping. But jail will be borrowing. You'll notice that you have up there a copy of the Maine State Revenue Services town valuations, and I've prepared the jail and tax breakdown for each town. I do have, those are your copies. I have a copy for you to sign. And that's the warrants.
That we sign the jail, the county commitment tax.
Right, so we'll need a motion to sign those things. That's my motion.
So is that, and there are your warrants.
Commissioner Johnson make a motion that we sign the jail accounts payable reserve warrant. We have a second.
Yes, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so. Then what is the total on that one that we just did?
He didn't read the total on that. He has the warrant copies of what you just voted to accept. I believe he didn't read the totals. I gave you too much in L at once. I'm sorry.
Don't be signing papers up here when you want to just.
And then this one.
In the yellow.
Okay, the electrician is before we do that.
I think I'm all set unless I forgot something.
I would get rid of September and finance report.
We haven't. I'll make a motion that,
We're gonna sign this as soon as they accept the birth.
oh, okay. Yep.
Like we always do,
Sure.
we accept the finance report.
Motion second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was confused because we already signed it.
No?
Yeah.
Well, we only have one today, Chris, right?
No, you signed
You already signed that one.
the other one.
We signed.
I don't think
Thank
you quite, said it out loud, so I don't know, are you set on your vote or?
No, because I don't know what the warrants are. Right, we need to do these separately.
Yeah.
Right, and they are separate.
Right, yeah.
I think I just gave you too much all at once, and I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's all right.
Well, this is the one that you read out.
Okay, the jail accounts payable reserve warrant for the amount of $132,026.52.
Yeah,
I'll second.
I'll make that
All
a
in
motion.
favor? Okay,
And then that one.
okay, the county payable, county accounts payable and reserve warrant in the amount of excuse me,
No, it's the top one, sir. It's the-
okay, $340,385.39.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. That do it for you, Trish?
I think. so.
Thank you very
I think
much.
so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
How about,
I have a question for the treasurer.
we can have a hold your question to, right? In a few minutes will come up. We don't take questions until
Okay.
public has a chance to speak. Chief Curtis,
Thank you.
Gentlemen. Mhm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
good.
We've got Lieutenant Cody Lake with me. I think he was introduced a couple of, or at least my name. I don't know if you've had a chance to be here before, so.
Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I'll be brief, just with the change in personnel. I just wanted to bring forward, we've selected some promotions within our office. I was just seeking your approval for those so we could get going on. We have submitted the originals to Human Resources already. I've got 5 different letters that I just want to present the people in their title. Looking for
Go slow.
I will go slow. And we had a part-time deputy that got done. So that's Kevin Littlefield. That was effective February 3rd. He had left to go to Camden. And then he's back in Belfast, but his commitments didn't allow him to continue with us. So just that's
Can
the first one.
everybody hear him?
I can speak up a little bit too, Commissioner. Okay.
I'm having a difficult time hearing.
So noted.
The second one is we've selected Dennis Townsend to fill one of the full-time deputy slots. Deputy Townsend is a 15-year veteran, full-time police officer, worked for Bangor and Greenville and Clinton a little bit. So we're looking to bring him in on the 15-year pay step. And he would be eligible for the signing bonus and the 2 payments, first after the successful completion of training, and the second at the completion of 1 year with a satisfactory performance evaluation. So
We did.
I'll make a motion. We hire Dennis Townsend. Thank you.
All in favor? Thank you.
the next one that I have is we had a promotional process for sergeant, position that was vacated when Lieutenant Late was promoted. We've selected Detective Chad Foley for that position. And we're looking for an effective date. The schedule didn't work out, but we're for him to officially start, but we're looking to do that retroactive to the 12th. So for Sunday, just for the payroll purposes. And he'll be resuming, or he'll be assuming those duties with the next cycle. Is that correct? He'll be
Starting Wednesday next week.
starting
Have
Wednesday
a
next week.
motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
And you talked with Annette and his, I'm sure.
Yes,
The step, the pay step.
Yes,
everything else.
and that has all the pay step information. If you'd like me to give you the pay steps. I
Yeah,
can.
no, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Fourth up is Deputy Frank Pellerin. We are recommending that he be promoted to a vacant detective's position effective February 26th. He's a full-time patrol officer with us. He's another one of the veteran officers that we were able to attract last year. Had that extensive experience out of Portland PD. And here, so that's Frank Pellerin to be promoted to detective from deputy.
Wonderful. I'll make that a motion.
Okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Great, thank you. And finally, we have another detective promotion for deputy. We're recommending Deputy Joshua Staples to fill that other vacancy effective March 2nd of 2023. And Josh has worked for us for about 5 years. He's done a great job for us, and we're looking forward to him in that division as
So
well.
is that a step raise?
It is a step. Yes, it is. Classification. Yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Okay, that's all I've got today. Unless you guys got
That
something.
will do it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And Barb, I have copies that have all the names and pay stubs for you.
so
Sure
much.
thing.
Thank you, Nancy.
And those are copies, so you do.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Thank you.
Mike,
Yeah.
very much.
have a great day, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we can move on to Jason Dale, doesn't now here yet.
Dale's here.
Oh, Dale, I didn't see you back there. Come on up. You're quiet, down on your seat.
Yeah, stuck in the back.
Good morning.
Morning. So just wanted to let everybody know where we were with the construction and renovation projects. We have brought on or bringing on, in the process of bringing on Haley Ward with Matt Carter, who's the architect. He's actually the architect who used to work with WRC when we designed the public safety building, so he's familiar with that facility. Basically what we're looking to do is bring him on to do all the paperwork that we need to get through the fire marshal's office. After that, we'll have enough drawings to do the renovations that we need to do. We don't have to go into full contracts.
Were you able to get and I know I'm gonna use the wrong term, like sell, if you will, the actual layout to when WDRC designed the public safety building, so we knew where all the wiring and everything underground and everything was.
We have the complete set of plans, but we were hoping to get the AutoCAD, the digital files, computer drawing files, document files. And I've sent 2 emails and I've made 2 phone calls, and I haven't, phone hasn't rang and the email hasn't been replied to yet, so.
But this gentleman would be very familiar.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but I may go knocking on their door, because they're not answering the phones. But we're still trying to do that, to get the plans, digital plans for the public safety building. He's also gonna help us with getting through the fire marshal's office permitting, which is construction for life safety and for barrier-free for ADA, American Disabilities Act. And kind of help us a little bit with some ideas on layout for both buildings, really. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm waiting to hear back from him. He was on a week vacation, and then he was gonna pounce on it, and then I'm hoping any day now that I'm gonna get back. They'll give us a figure of what it would cost for Haley Ward to do that for us.
How's the second building coming out there?
So for out at the garden site, of course, we got the EMA building, we got the warehouse. The
Yeah.
warehouse, they are sheathing the roof right now.
Good.
They're hoping to get that closed in before we
More to
get
come.
rain and snow. It won't be completely closed in. They'll still have what's called piggyback trusses at the very top. What they still have to do after today. But it'll keep a lot of snow and wet out of the building. That's where we are with that one. We'll be working roofing, the underlayment and the metal roofing and whatnot afterwards, after they get that out. For the EMA building, having some difficulties with the drywall. It was supposed to have been done a week and a half ago. And they weren't there yesterday and they weren't there this morning. But we've also found out that they, in the classroom, they buried the data and telephone jack behind the drywall. So fortunately, I had Britt go out there every single day taking lots of pictures. And he says, oh yeah, I got pictures of that. So we think with pictures from different angles, we'll be able to narrow down.
Cut it out.
Really gotta cut a hole.
Andy,
Yeah. But I've got paint, and as soon as we can get that drywall ceiling, that's all we got, that's all we're painting. Done, then we're gonna paint it, get that done. And then they can put on the tongue and groove board on the walls. And then electricians and plumbers and whatnot can come back, do their thing. We're also going with a flooring. Originally, we're looking into epoxy floors for concrete. A lot of people do it in their garages, but they also do it like basements of office buildings and whatnot. And we're looking to do that in this building. We found a company called the Coastal Concrete Flooring. And they do a product that's not quite epoxy, it's some other product. It's a polycarbonate, big long name string of words. Why they need to pick a trade name to go with, like epoxy. But it's actually supposed to be somewhat better because it's more impact resistant. Epoxy, you can chip it, if you drop something heavy, dark on. This you're supposed to take some of that impact, so.
And will this company come in and do it, or is this gonna be?
We're looking at about 4 or 5 weeks out for the flooring. We're hoping that we'll have all the walls and ceilings and everything done. They'll come in and do the flooring, and then it's putting in cabinetry and putting in, toilets and all that type of stuff. And so hopefully within about 2.5 months, will be enough that we could start moving in.
Who's the company that's sheetrocking?
And it's a company called AKS drywall. The problem is everybody is just being pulled in 17 different directions. And so when they're at my site, someone else is yelling at them, and when they're at their site, I'm yelling at them.
Yeah.
So,
Budget wise, how we doing, Dale?
what's that?
Budget wise, how we're doing on?
So for the EMA building and food warehouse and tower that we built out there, right now we're on track to be under budget. How much so, I don't know exactly, but it's I think it'll be at least 6 digits.
Sure.
Why
Why is the pond issue? Is that
What's that?
the pond issue? We're doing a pond out there?
We're still gonna be building a detention pond out there, and it'll be also a fire pond.
Dry hydrant?
With a dry hydrant, and then we've got a couple other filtration pits. It's all part of the stormwater system. We'll have to wait till the snow goes away, it dries up somewhat, and then Wade Brown will come back. And he'll be working on the stormwater systems and bringing the site up to final grade. And I've got a proposal from Wellman Paving, and I'm on their list so that, we don't keep pushed back. So hopefully sometime late June, we'll do paving. My hope is that by the time we hit July, we should be done. We'll already be out there, but we'll be done with most of the stuff on that. So for those projects, right now, we're on track to being under budget, and we're probably 2/3 committed, but half spent.
Yeah.
We still got some contracts that, we haven't paid out yet. I think we've got a lot of money set aside for the renovation projects. You never know, something might pop up on us and it costs a little more, but if we don't have any huge hiccups, then we should have a little bit left over there too. And of course, we're not building a new building for deeds. So that left some money also on the table for the solar project for the sheriff's office. But I think we're doing really, really well. I think right now, most of the stuff is coming in either at or below budget.
Yeah, sure.
So. Any
Is
other
that it
questions?
for today?
What's that?
Is that it for today?
Yeah, unless you've got any other questions.
No, I'm just glad to hear it's going well. We're under budget.
Sounds
All good news.
Well, part of the reason why we're under budget is because we traded time in some cases for money.
Yeah,
No, you bartered. It's brilliant, and you fail to self-promote yourself. I mean, these guys have been down there like on a daily basis. and they're gonna do painting and everything else on their own to save money.
Anything, the thing is with, when you don't have a general contractor and you're kind of the general contractor, there's gaps. You know,
So
this
you do
contractor
everything.
does this amount and this
Yeah,
contractor does this
sure.
amount, and there's that piece in the middle. So myself and my guys, we've been taking care of those things.
Good, good news.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Any questions? Thank
Have
you
a good
very
day.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're up to public comment. You had you want the treasurer back in here?
She's still here.
Oh, okay. right.
Okay.
Thank you.
As you all know, I have been very active in the implementation of getting broadband to at least 5 of the towns here in the county. And I brought some friends with me today. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about where we are now. And if you have any questions that I may not be able to answer, that other people will. I mean, you're familiar with Bob.
Yeah,
And this is Mickey, sort of, and Sarah Crosby. And they're also members of the broadband committee.
sure.
And we'll start with Bob.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to,
Just have them join at the table. 'cause I don't-
Sure, come on.
Sorry.
okay, thank you. Okay, if we all come up?
Sure.
This
Thanks.
chairs.
You can have them done it too.
Thank you. Hey, how are you? Good to see you again. Thanks, Mark. I haven't seen you in a while, baby.
So,
Good morning, good morning.
good morning. So you know, you guys helped us a lot by giving each town $20,000. That's what we use to form, that's what we use to get a feasibility study done. And the remainder for each of our 5 towns, Freedom, Liberty, Montville, Palermo, and Searsmont, went in to form the Waldo Broadband Corporation. So that's a nonprofit organization that's going to bring broadband to this 5-town area. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed to where we are. We had some real exciting news. I've kind of been on a roller coaster. So we had some real exciting news that the grant that we submitted was conditionally, and that conditionally.
Always an
approved-
adjective there.
Yeah, approved for $11.2 million.
Wow, congratulations.
Well, don't get too
Okay.
excited yet.
Never mind.
All right, so I think that was a real coup for us. Our project met all of the project standards. We had a financial commitment. You know, that means that we had to come up with some cash of 4.6 million. Because the total project is a little over $15 million. We anticipated completing the date. We thought we were gonna finish our construction by the end of 2023. And the review committee thought that was ambitious but realistic. And we scored very high in, you know, in all of the scores that they do when they try to give you a grant. Actually, Valiant, I was gonna say yesterday we found out, yesterday it was official. The condition that we had, the Maine Connectivity Authority decided not to recommend us to go forward with the first cohort. So there's gonna be a second cohort, okay? So they recommended that we not move forward with the grant. Because we had a lack of readiness for our financial commitment, our 4.6 million. The $11.2 million that they earmarked for us, they're going to take and they're going to put back into a pool. They're not going to give it to other people yet. And we'll be able to go through the process again and, you know, request.
So they gave it to you and then they took it away.
Well, they
It
didn't,
sounds so government.
they
doesn't it?
didn't, they didn't give it to us.
Right.
And they said, boy, you guys meet all of the requirements for this.
No,
But you've got to find a way to come up with your $4.6 million. And the way we were going to do that, I don't want to get into too much detail, but the way we were going to do that is we were going to generate revenue bonds. And then the subscribers, as they subscribe to our internet, part of their fees would pay those revenue bonds down. No expense to the towns, you know, we were gonna be home free. Well, because of the way we set things up, we couldn't float those bonds. So what are we doing about it now? We believe that we were very well positioned for the second cohort, which we think is going to happen sometime in June, but they haven't come up with a final schedule yet. We are taking actions with Maine Connectivity Authority, Financial Authority of Maine, and with our legislators. So Representative Ziegler is trying to help us with some language to give us the ability to move those bonds. Maine Connectivity Authority and FAME are working together to try to find a financing mechanism that we can access. So it's a matter of accessing the financial markets to get the money that we need. And, you know, if you can imagine, if you don't have a history of bringing money in and having a steady revenue stream, they're not going to buy, nobody's going to buy your bonds.
Bob, if I can interrupt you and ask a wicked stupid question, you know, I'm good at that. Now, you can't seek out municipal bonds for this because you are a separate entity and not
No,
a municipality?
we could have. But the way we got our 5 municipalities together, and you know how hard it is to bring,
Yeah, we remember, yeah.
try to work with 15 cantankerous selectmen,
Oh.
and it gets to be a little bit difficult.
You're including yourself?
I am, but not yet, but not yet.
Okay,
The way we set up the corporation and the way we got the towns to agree was we said, okay, we're gonna form a corporation, which will isolate the town from debt and from any effect to your tax base.
which.
And so by doing that, the full faith and credit of the towns isn't available unless we go back to the 5 towns, go through 5 special town meetings again and do all of the things we need to do. So, I mean, I guess I think that answers your question.
Yeah, it does, I'm sorry.
And you know, so the Maine Connectivity Authority is aware of this issue, like I said, and they're trying to work with us to resolve it. But it's not anything that's going to happen real fast. We're hoping it happens before the next round, which we think is going to be in June. And I think, you know, if we can get those ducks in line, we'd be in a real good position to get those funds.
Your group was one of the largest sums I did.
Yeah, I mean, if you look
Through
at
the
it,
grapevine.
We
Yeah.
were also the only broadband utility district officially named,
Community owned.
so recognized by the Maine Connectivity Authority in this very first round that they distributed, the only one in the state.
Highly impressive, though.
yeah, so I mean, I feel good and I feel bad. I feel like I'm bipolar, you know, one day I'm so high, I could almost cry. And then the next day, I'm so low.
You could almost
I
cry.
could almost cry.
Really?
So, but that, you know, that's the breaks of the game. We're working with a state bureaucracy. Several state bureaucracies. We're trying to do the best we can. Like I said, the legislative actions. They didn't really allow us, they allowed us to send out revenue bonds. But nobody's going to buy a revenue bond if there's no good faith and credit behind the bond. So we're trying to find a way that we can get the state to provide that good faith and credit. We're trying to work through the legislation and we're quite frankly also trying to find other opportunities for financing.
And that's where I come in. I'm sorry, Mr. Shorey, I don't know you. And Ms. Fowler, I don't know you. Betty and I have actually worked together in the distant past. They brought me into the Waldo Broadband Corporation before it was the Waldo Broadband Corporation. Because I have more than, well, it used to be called the Southwestern Waldo County Broadband Coalition.
Right.
You know, but they brought me in because I have more than 50 years experience in fundraising. I'm not the only one. Sarah Crosby here is also on that committee, as in Wilson Hess, who works with the State Department of Education. It's a good group of fundraising people. So we're looking at a dozen different sources of support, but none of it could have happened without the initial $20,000 to each town that you awarded. That got us over 2 years to hear where any additional funds, including any you decide to do, is going to leverage not only that $11 million, but $4 million more. And fundraising is all about leverage. They asked me to talk to you today, not about the money, but about who benefits. And the answer is the residents of Searsmont, Palermo, Morrill, Freedom, and Montville.
Yeah, Montville.
I said Morrill, but
You meant
I was wrong.
And Liberty.
And Liberty. Now, this is, we did the mapping with your money, thank you.
That was
3,379 homes and businesses. A population of nearly 6,000 people who will benefit from broadband. Sarah's going to talk more about what they're going to get once they have the broadband. But the point is, we're not coming before you only to update you. It's also to let you know that it's your constituents who are going to benefit. And by the way, I'm one of your constituents. I live in Searsmont. The minimum requirement for broadband, according to the federal government guidelines, is 25 megabytes per second download, so you can get stuff, and 10 megabytes a second upload, so you can send stuff out and not freeze when you're on Zoom. I can do Zoom, but if my wife wants to do a meeting, she can't. We have to take turns. At home, we're all consolidated communications, almost all of us. They're not that great. And my speed is 4 down and 1 up. And poor Bob has even less than
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna
And poor
say,
Elaine has
Bob, I
less
know.
than that.
We freeze
So,
talking to each other.
That's what this is all about. That's why taxpayers are not being asked to pay more for affordable, high-speed fiber internet. My goodness, that feasibility study allowed us to go and find someone who can build the darn thing. We know how long it's going to take. We know how to get the materials, which isn't easy. Everybody's trying to get the materials. But we've come this far in 2 years. And 2 years ago, when we started doing this, I said, no way we're going to do this in 2 years, maybe 5, but we did it. And that's why we're here before you today. We want you to know everything that we're doing. Sarah, what can they do once they have the highest-speed internet?
So one of the things I have to say is I'm just amazed, you know, I was an educator around here for years, and what amazed me is the degree of collaboration we had and the technical expertise that came out of the woodwork. We had people who could map with, you know, anyway, we had people who could come up with a 14-page request for proposals.
And by the way, we had Jason Bailey who did the deck.
Thank you, Jason.
Which was incredibly detailed and allowed us to select the best person to build the network. And the other thing is it allowed us to consider how much we want to be independent. We no longer want to be stuck with Consolidated, which gives us, I'll hand this to you, but shows how many people, that's the only option. And we heard from our citizens, we don't want to be held by one provider who doesn't answer our calls, you know, who doesn't help us get the internet back going. So that was what drove us. So a very dedicated group. And we want to be able to give our children and our grandchildren the expertise to be free to operate from any place, start businesses. And we did send out a thing saying, hey, fill out our survey. So 600 people did. And we found to our amazement that 74% of people are using the internet for business. And they've had to buy extra modems and hotspots to be able to do that. But they're really working hard to do home-based businesses and things like that. 60% are using it for education. And we've heard through the net that they're still doing that because the state's putting out all these great job training and education programs. Chip Curry is working hard at that. You gotta have, I just took an internet course and it froze half the time. And you've gotta have decent internet to do that. Not only that, you've gotta have decent internet to even apply for a job these days. You know, you can't get stuff on paper. It's just like trying to get your social security statement on paper. Everything's in the internet.
Including doctors.
Including doctors.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, and the feds and the state are putting out all kinds of grants. We've got a grant from maternal health. We've got grant to expand telehealth through Maine Health. We've got grants to work on people sending images and data, but we don't have the internet, the bandwidth to do it. You know, one grant said, why don't you go to your local library? Well, you're not going to go to your local library, your tiny little, you know, library in Freedom and find a small room to show photographs of whatever's healing from, you know what I mean? What recent cut and paste you may have had. So you want to do that in the comfort of your home. And our home health nurses are saying, you know, we see this need rising. We see federal money coming down, but we don't have the bandwidth to support it. So, you know, we're in this because we really feel that investing in this is going to be a huge impact on the future of our county. People want to stay in their homes. They love their towns. They don't want to have to pay $200 a month to have access to what they need. So, and we don't want to be bound by one provider. We want the freedom to select, have people be able to select, I want a $40 plan, I want a $70 plan, I want 100 megabytes for my business. So that was what drove us. And
I don't know how much you're paying, but our
Yeah.
people we've talked to, the providers, say they can do this for 60 to 80 bucks a month.
yeah,
And I'm paying more than that now.
right.
Most of them, I think, is over 100.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And if you're living on, you know, and we have a lot of people living on under $20,000 a year. You don't want to spend 10% of your income on internet, you know?
Because
Those people were meet revenue requirements, their personal revenue.
Yeah.
Will be able to participate in a federally funded program that will pay for their internet.
Wow.
So that, I mean,
Yeah,
And,
for
and another
$30.
grant pays for buying the equipment, installing the equipment, training people to use it. It's this thing called broadband digital equity. And this is part and parcel of the whole project. What astounds me is the number of people who can actually potentially.
Will the
benefit from
schools
this.
somehow benefit I know, I realize Freedom and those schools would go to Mount View, but I think of like the little Palermo school and stuff
you
like
know
that.
what, the
If anything come out of,
schools and the libraries have been connected to the internet through another program.
okay.
But this is getting it to our
To their-
residents.
So you can do your
Yeah.
homework.
I,
So you
well,
can do your home-
I know that
Yeah.
everybody struggled during
Yeah.
COVID because.
As Jason told you, the alphabet soup, the acronyms for all of this. What we're talking now is FTTH, fiber to the home.
Okay.
Now, it's the
Yeah.
Waldo Broadband Corporation builds the main lines, builds the secondary lines, and then the last one connects the street to your house.
And then you have how to train the people like me who can't, you know what I mean? You think I could figure this out, right? I'm educated. I mean, you need a full-time navigator almost to come in, set up your house, get everything working. And the home health nurses don't have time to do that, you know? So. and
But
neither
this
does-
project does.
Yeah, but this project does because it'll fund what they call digital navigators. So
And we have partnered with the Island Institute for our digital equity portion.
Yeah,
portion.
yeah.
So,
So one of my dreams is to get these super tech high school students and college students to go into the homes and help people like me figure out why doesn't that work?
Yeah, where's a 9-year-old when we need? him?
Well, yeah, I call my grandkids.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. We all do, right? So Anyway, we brought some basic information on our we've got,
And we'll leave it with.
yeah, we'll leave it with you.
And we want to thank you for your time, really,
Which we
we appreciate it.
pass out and pack it.
I wish I said, hey, guess what? We're gonna start stringing wire tomorrow.
Well, I will share with you, Bob, that I heard a very hush hush quiet rumor, and I will not reveal my source. And they said, geez, I can't believe Bob hasn't told you, and I thought, wait till I see him. But, and I can appreciate the sheer excitement, and you all should be incredibly proud. And then the typical government of, yeah, no, you know?
I mean, I got emotional when I told the rest of our select board. Because we put so much.
It's,
And then, like I said, I'm on that roller coaster.
So I assume you're gonna want us to keep talking to you and let you know.
That's
Oh,
not,
sure.
oh my gosh, this is,
Want to hear.
this is incredibly impressive. And
Yeah.
Bill and I know, look to Betty because she's our technology guru when Jason's not here. So,
Uh-oh.
Well, we all share a bunch of stuff. I'm an avid gardener.
oh,
And I know, Mr. Shorey, that you are. too.
yes, he is.
And my background was in the arts. And Betty, I know your background is in the arts. I don't know enough about you. Ms. Fowler,
She's
I'm a mystery.
To pull something out,
I'm a
to pull
mystery.
something out of the hat. We're gonna turn it over to Bob, so.
I just have to say before Bob starts, Bob has, I don't know what else he does in his life besides this. He's had to bear the brunt of forming a corporation, piles of paperwork like this, not to mention town meeting. I mean, Bob, you've been incredible.
Thank you.
What a leader.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're
But
impressed with him. I took him out to breakfast.
It isn't me, it's all the people that we work with. It's our board,
Incredible.
it's everybody that's helped. So we are writing the history for Southern Waldo County. And we are hoping that we'll get this $15 million investment in there. And then people will be in much better shape than they are.
You were our first financial partners. The first. Somebody has to be the first one. That leveraged more money.
Yeah, we
But
wouldn't
by
have-
the way, not today. We'll be back. We'll be asking.
Oh, yeah. I do know we are the only county that did anything like that. right?
Yeah, which is.
Which was kind of,
It's rewarding for us to, Waldo, I told this story many times, that $20,000 would send out to all the towns.
yeah,
I told them story about you folks banding together and taking the 20,000 and
Mhm.
making something of it. That's what we hoped would happen on a wider scope than it happened. But I
okay.
congratulate you on what you're doing, and certainly will support you in any way we can.
Oh, thank you. I'm writing that down.
it's recorded.
And we hope to be able to incorporate, bring in other towns like Belmont and all these little towns that are stuck in the midst of, in between giant corporations that have offered to sign them up.
And
think a lot of-
every, and believe me, every additional dollar you may choose to decide to invest in your citizens and in this project is going to generate many dollars in addition. And we're saying this to everybody who supports us. Your gift, whatever it is that's not the end of it, because we then go to somebody else and say, look, we have a seal of approval from. I mean, we're talking to Stephen and Tabitha King, we're talking to Chinbro, we're talking to the Hannaford Charitable Foundation. We're talking to Robbins Lumber, obviously, because they're in Searsmont. These are all people who understand how this system works, as you do.
Yeah.
I don't envy you.
I
I
think a
don't
lot of
envy you
towns
having to deal with these huge
this was
chunks
so
of money.
intimidating and scary. And I think a lot of the small towns might start to dip their toes in the water, if you will. But I mean, when we first started, we were all like, okay, good luck. You know?
We've gotten
It
to.
was so huge.
Let's say that it's not gonna be.
Didn't say that, but so it is.
You have questions for us right now? We don't want to take more of this time than.
I'll just tell you that by forming a nonprofit corporation like we did, We are filing for a 503(c) status. We
Okay.
have a tax exemption status. All our board and volunteers are unpaid. So that gives us an advantage, and that advantage we want to give back to our community. And we will be the ones, the board, the Waldo County Broadband Corporation Board will be the one that set the prices for our customers, not some corporation that's
Not
headquartered in
Spectrum.
Yeah,
Illinois, Tennessee or
No.
wherever. It'll be us. We'll be in Palermo Town Office or Liberty Town Office or something like that, or probably on Zoom. But,
Yeah, right.
but, you know,
Well, I hope there comes a time when more of us can meet like this.
This
I
is
do too.
impressive. This is really impressive.
Yeah,
so,
I do too.
so thank you very much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming in. And,
We practiced, we rehearsed.
You guys,
you did a good job.
Well, respect must be paid.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Thank you.
very, very much.
And if you have any other questions after this, you can get a hold of me and if I don't know the answer, I'll find it.
True. Thank you.
Now, Elaine arranged for us to be on to come in today. For our next time, do you have a specific day you want us to come back? And we'll make sure we have more stuff by then, or do you want us to call you and say we'd like to come in next meeting?
What if
What
we
works
wait
better
till
for
we get
you?
more good information or?
Yeah, we got a form we're gonna be working on, financial form. And that's probably a couple months down the road.
Was this for the ARPA money?
No, it's just for an internal thing for budget
Oh,
consideration.
oh, sure,
And it would be something you people could fill out.
Sure.
That would be better suited to have a more meaningful discussion.
well, I just want you to keep one figure in mind, right? We need $4 million.
but we hope to get that elsewhere.
Not just from the county. Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank
It was a
very,
real
very
pleasure.
much.
Elaine comes all the time and
Yeah.
Sarah comes a
Yeah.
lot and I know Bob comes a lot, but you know, this is the first time I've been to a commissioners meeting. It won't be the last.
Grab a donut.
You have a huge agenda. I was astounded that you just shot right through
Yeah.
it so far.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Oh, Elaine, you had,
I think I'm just gonna be, I'm gonna sit
did
back
you
in my
have a
seat.
question?
Well, I was gonna ask, the simple question is there any other ARPA funds that are not earmarked? I
No.
mean, that's kind of it was a little bit off topic, but it was a curiosity of mine, is, you know,
The difficult thing right now is the ARPA funds technically are all allocated somewhere.
okay,
Where we're at in the spending and whether or not the bills have come in or they've been paid or where we're at. The trouble is with the ARPA, just like we're all finding with our own homes, is what you thought would be a certain cost is 2 and 3 times
great.
what you had anticipated.
Yeah.
But so I don't even think any of us could give them.
Yeah, I know. We rebuilt our kitchen.
Oh, God, you fool. Wrong time.
$7,000 turned into 15.
What, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just so, but I mean, Elaine, you're here. You can see our numbers anytime and.
Yeah.
that's-
I'll be taking these homes. So.
Now I see why they wanted our trip.
Yeah,
She just wanted a donut.
Yeah,
I got my donut up now.
thank you very, very much.
Thanks, folks.
Have a good day.
Did someone leave a coffee mug?
That's mine.
Okay, do you need some help getting stuff?
Jason, you're up.
I'm gonna stay and for the rest of the meeting.
All
because
right.
I'm on the budget committee
Bye-bye.
as well.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah, take care.
That's a dumb question. Starlink, isn't that Elon Musk?
Yeah.
With the funny antenna?
Yeah, yeah.
That's really expensive. I can't believe it.
What's that?
I'm looking at her chart and it shows 2% have Starlink. I'm thinking, wow.
Yeah, I think it's the hardware is like $500 or $600 up front and then it's $110 a month. I
Oh,
believe.
my
So,
God.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's not cheap, but you know,
They're really, whatever. Okay.
if you're able to cut out satellite TV or cable TV, you know it.
Groceries, eating
Yeah.
expenses. You can
Well,
afford
you
it.
know,
I haven't had cable TV for quite a while, but I think it's like up to probably 200 a month or something, it's probably right around there, I'm guessing.
No, you're wrong, Jason, I have that, the package is $252.
Oh, there you go. So if you
this
cut that
bill
out and you do Netflix instead,
goes up. I have the whole package of Spectrum,
yep,
the bill goes up $8, $10 or $12 every 2 or 3 months,
yeah, so,
now up
It's
to
a-
$253.
yeah, so again, it's, it's kind of a.
I gotta go get a government grant if I.
Exactly. Can you watch the news at night and write that off as a business expense?
Good point.
Worth a shot, I don't know, I'm no tax expert, but the really big thing I have is I'd like to present Ray Monreal for the part-time IT tech position. We'd like to start him off at $25 an hour, starting at 20 hours a week. And starting date would be February 27th.
I think that's a great idea.
I am excited and grateful that you found someone and you found Ray, who has worked for us for 20+ years. So
Yep.
I will make a motion that we hire Ray as our part-time technology, whatever prestigious title you wish to give this gentleman.
Second to motion, all in favor?
All right,
Well
thank
done.
you, and I'll have him here at the next meeting just to
Yeah.
introduce him
Well,
formally to you.
right.
Yeah,
So you think that'll work out quite well?
I think so, yeah, I think it's gonna be good, and I talked to him quite a bit, and I think we're gonna be good, start him off with, getting some new computers set up and that sort of thing, and then we'll start him kind of off running the Zoom meetings and things like that, and
Yeah.
see where it goes from there.
Good.
Yeah, and we'll figure out
You.
his schedule, he's kind of, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes the first month or so, and hopefully get him kind of on a static schedule, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Go from there. So,
the 20 hours now, kind of when you and Ray figure that out.
yeah, exactly. I think we'll kind of play it by ear at first and see how it works
Yeah.
out best for him and us, and that sort of thing, because he's still working out in the EMA building, finishing
Sure.
stuff out there and everything, but I think I'm flexible, he's flexible, so I think it'll work out okay, so, it's not, doesn't have to be, I'm not like, hey, you have to be here 9 to 2 or whatever, that sort of thing, so I think we're both open to working around each other's schedules, which is fine by both of us, so, yeah.
Very good.
Yep. And that's really all I had for you, other than, normal
Well, that's
day-to-day
all
stuff.
I do, so
That's
Yeah.
exciting. I'm excited for you, Jace.
Thank you.
okay, thank you, Jason.
All right, thank you.
Gonna have a 5-minute break.
Congratulations, that team that you work with.
Yes, yeah, exciting.
It is, it's very impressive.
Get my donuts. I got I didn't have time. Thank you for waiting. My apologies for.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you all?
Very good.
Good.
Oh, excellent. Beautiful weather, 50.
Oh, no,
Happy spring.
it's
Not
fake spring. It's fake spring.
Yeah, that's right. Just to get our hopes up. Okay, so let's just jump right into it because I made you wait. So, our IT director, Jason, has selected a part-time person. His name is Ray Monreal.
Mhm.
And he'll come on as part-time, and he is going to be making $25 an hour for 20 hours a week, with a start date of Monday, February 27th, 2023. His, just to full disclosure, he also has his own business as part-time, and he will continue doing that part-time. And there has been discussions around when he's at work, conflict of interest, that he's gonna focus when he's here and not do his other job, his own business. So we have tried to delineate and make it clear what the expectations would be when he's working for those hours. And so we'll bring him on board, which is great. And
So this is the new hire that we have to approve.
Well,
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to.
yes,
So I'll make that.
We
motion.
made a motion, back when Jason was in here.
Okay. We should have made it.
Yeah.
You did, actually.
you did. Oh,
Did it?
okay.
Yes, I don't know if we had all the details.
Yeah, all the details. yeah.
All right.
Well, we might not have had all the details, but we did make a motion to hire him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Question.
Okay, good.
So now we'll fill in all the details. So we have a recorded record for him. And then my clarifying question, when I bring things from an HR perspective to you, like for example, this employee, current employee, he is due his 5-year step raise or step increase. Do I bring that to you as well? Okay. So I've heard from the sheriff's office that the deputy Joshua Staples is due his 5-year step raise February 2nd. And so his new rate of pay would be $28.35.
And I will so note that my only question there, and I'm sure you both are thinking the same thing, is because he's being promoted to detective.
Huh?
So does that take into consideration of an increase in his salary for detective, or is that?
Oh, good question. I'm not aware. If I do, I'm not recalling that Joshua is going to be promoted.
Let's see, this isn't a that's fault, you.
Yeah,
this
no,
is-
I mean, but if so, depending on what the new salary is as a deputy, and where the scales fall for each, it could impact on his new rate of pay. So I can definitely will research that, but
Actually,
for
his-
currently,
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Matt Curtis dropped off copies
okay.
when he was here, and some things, but I
No,
think he factored that in when you look.
Oh, it does look like it, okay.
Is that sheet different than what you have?
It is. The sheet I have is just letting me know that he's due in his current position, his 5-year longevity increase. But the one that he presented to you this morning does take into consideration his step increase, longevity, and is giving a new dollar amount as the new deputy. So to recap, we'll blend these two together. Okay, so on February 6th,
So I guess we note that then. that
right,
Well, yeah,
that
we
would
know,
be different than what.
Yeah, so- and so these two letters are dated 2 different time frames. So what I did for Joshua, because of his longevity increase, I have adjusted his pay accordingly in its current state. And then, which is the correct thing to do, because on the letter dated February 15th from Chief Deputy Curtis, he's promoting Joshua Staples effective March 2nd.
Right.
Which will go to the new rate of $29.95. So thank you for sharing that. And I also was notified that Paul Haskell has reached his 15-year anniversary with Waldo, and his supervisor, Michael Larrabee, director, is requesting his vacation accruals to be adjusted accordingly
Mhm.
based on his longevity. And that will take place when accruals are updated the beginning of March. That's when they do, when our payroll system does it. And Sheriff Fundy has let me know that part-time Deputy Kevin Littlefield has resigned effective February 3rd. He went to part-time last year in 2022, and now he's officially resigning.
Yeah, a motion to accept that resignation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you. And also, I'm thinking, Chief Deputy Curtis also let you know about their new hire, Deputy Townsend. And then I won't, if you've got all the details for him, I won't need to reiterate that, correct? You made a motion on him?
I believe we did.
Yes, excellent. Perfect. And then this is to, also was notified by Sheriff Trundy that they are going to be promoting Chad Foley to patrol sergeant. And his effective date for this will be February 12th. And Sergeant Foley will move to $35.36. Were you brought aware of that as well?
We weren't aware of the number, but.
You know,
Oh.
we had, the chief had 5 different people we spoke to us about when he's
Okay.
given his report this morning.
Yeah, excellent. So, and then. That is it for actual changes in staff and changes.
What about Frank Pellerin?
um,
We,
I'm not familiar with that.
That might be.
this, I'm just gonna say out loud, this is horrible that we have an HR sitting here that isn't aware of any of this information. That's not fair to Annette.
But it's been a crazy day, good morning, so if. If Deputy Chief Curtis was sharing something when he came in, we were talking about a couple. A current employee and a past employee's request for information, so he probably is Frank Pellerin going to be in
He's
his.
promoted to
department?
detective
Oh, okay,
as of February 26th.
And we,
okay,
you know,
What's that?
And we need to kind
yeah,
of educate.
I'll see if I can, would you like me to try to help everybody get grouped together the way they?
Yeah,
Used to be.
personnel issues
Yes.
go to our HR.
so in fairness. It was mentioned this morning when he met with me about what past practice was with my predecessor. And that they would have presented new hires and changes. And we never did regroup to come up with what we were gonna do going forward. So I definitely will touch base with them. So I don't think there's any need of that, Barbara.
Right.
I think that's something that I know if they're in the air in limbo, and he says, oh, I've got to go because they're waiting for me, meaning the commissioners, so I can regroup with them.
Also, there's a little bit with Jason, with his new hire, too. I mean, I think the HR person should be in here.
Presenting that stuff, yeah.
Presenting that.
Oh, good, I know, I can,
That's
he did give me
great.
a copy of the letter, but I definitely will reach out to the department heads and let them know if there's any new hires and changes to please since I will be on your schedule every
Right.
meeting, that I will present them. And it may save them some time in showing up if they're only going to come to present new hires.
Yep.
Or changes, so, and I'm right here.
Keep it.
Not a big national.
Oh, okay. I heard it. All right.
Nice sense,
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, so on a fun note, I did get around to each of the departments and gave fruit trays with compliments of our wellness program and took the opportunity to meet staff that was on site. And that was, I love that part about HR. And it was just nice to put names and faces, especially with folks that I've talked to a few times on the phone. And it felt like I was able to make myself available for them and connect. And then I mentioned about doing job shadows with them so I could get a feel of what their department actually does do. And when, like right now, I am posting, just a great segue to, because Keith Neely is resigning or retiring in May, I am in the process of posting his job on Indeed today. And I'm just working on
Yeah.
the deed of clerk, the deed clerk deed for part-time with Stacy Grant, replacing Jan. And so I'm working on that right now. So I had a hiccup in Indeed, so.
And all of it's posted internally first, and then they go out to the big world, or is it both?
If both at the same time,
good.
the intent is, so right now I'm trying to get it on Indeed, just because it takes them a couple hours to do their proofing and editing and making sure it meets all the requirements, like it has EEO language in it. So I thought, well, I'll start with them to at least get that in their queue, and at the same time, I will use that same posting to send an email to all Waldo County.
Yeah.
So that's what my plan was, to try to maximize the time. And so Commissioner Johnson had asked for job descriptions and performance evaluations for the department head. That packet is ready, so if you want to stop by after Commissioner, and I can share more information about what the packet involves, and I do have a packet for each of you. And so you all three have the same data in case you want to talk and share.
Do we have to fill it out? Betty can fill it out, right? Do we have to all fill it
No,
out?
it's not even at that level. She just wanted to know what has been done to date.
Yeah, it's the catch up and some are outdated.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
It hasn't been
I
done.
thought we were gonna have to do evaluation.
Well, that's a great segue too.
Right, but I will definitely speak to, you know, the
Yeah.
two other commissioners and get their input,
Yeah,
but yeah.
okay, yeah, so I wanted
And
to
if
touch base
they
with you on
do
that.
for reevaluation, that's what they'll get.
Yes, that would be, yeah, so I'll touch base with you on that when you come by. I thought I would have it here now, but I just grabbed my binder. I was on the phone with that payroll company. So other than that, it's
Thank
been an
you.
interesting 2 weeks.
All right,
So,
thank you.
all right,
Super.
thank
Thank you much.
Super, Annette, thank you very much.
Hey, Barbara. Correspondence.
All right, 1 second, let me just get to a different page here. As you know already, but I will be sending out new notices and getting all that done for the tax abatement petition 380 that was going to be heard today. It will be heard on April 20th, 10 o'clock. I also understand that that is the same day that you folks will be having your Spirit of America ceremony after your court session, and that'll be fine. I'll just try to make sure that nothing that isn't important is pushes that off.
Sure.
Anyway. We'll keep that agenda as simple as possible. And I will be working the tail end of this week and into early next week on the certificates that need to get out to the longest serving elected governing officials of each town so that the towns can present them. Most of the town meetings are held in March.
Yep.
So that's my goal, get them out the end of February so they have them and they know what to do with them. I'll
Yeah,
put a letter together, which I'll go
Yep.
over with you, Commissioner,
Sure.
to just make sure it's clear that they know
Yep.
what to do. Sue is working out very well. We're all very grateful to have her. She's a huge help to all three of us, picking things up very quickly. Very quick to understand the flow of things. With her background, a lot of this makes sense to her, so this has been great, and we've started doing some training in all three places, and I'm continue to work with her so she gets comfortable with all of this. I think that's all I had for you at this point.
oh, good,
No,
good.
just a question, because I'm curious, because I know that Sue is trying to understand everybody's position. I'm not speaking for you. So you stop me anytime. This is my interpretation. Barb, the other day when we ran into a situation where we were advised that this hearing was gonna have to be continued at another time, and you were dealing with another situation. And you said, well, I'll redo the warrant, the agenda and get a hold of people. And my knee-jerk response was, first of all, don't worry about the agenda, we can just.
No, I just did that.
But my
for
thought was, wouldn't this be a position
Yes.
where you would say to Susan, get a hold of these folks, tell them when it's gonna be, the agenda, move everything ahead by 20 minutes or something. You
Right.
shouldn't, when you're away, you're away.
That is the goal.
Okay,
We're
okay.
just not quite there because I haven't finished with some of that training, and it was, in that situation, it was just faster to get, I needed to get a hold of an attorney and to select people, and I had the numbers. But that's exactly what she'll be doing, and it will be a great help when I can just call her and say, hey, this is what's happened, can you take care of that? And she'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's all you had, Bob?
Yes, thank you.
Miscellaneous business, on the miscellaneous business, I run across something talking with Barbara that, like these people that have been here this morning and they'd like to know something about money, of course, everybody wants money. You know, you had a case of money, but I understand they have a application up in the Bruce stick that they fill out, and it's filled out, so when it comes to us, we know we have a good idea if it's something we want to get involved in or not. And I asked Barbara to get a copy of that, we can modify it for our own needs. And anybody that's like you, in the case of Brooks, they could fill out one. And it would be detailed, and then whether they're a 501 or whatever, all that information is available. I think that would be the way we should approach things going forward, so the clerk doesn't get stuck with the people calling in and wanting to come in, and have a session with us when she knows. And she informs them that we have a budget, and there's no, not that kind of flexibility in it. So I think that would be a good form for us to work on in there.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see it.
See,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And they probably have done a good job with it up there. We, you know, more so this year than like these people, everybody's making a pitch for last ditch after fund. So we get these forms filled out and it'd be easier for us to get it organized and have constructive conversations with the people that are involved.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
Good
I think
idea.
Penobscot County did that also.
Yeah.
With,
I think there might be a few.
Yeah.
That was the one I had
well,
seen.
we're nonprofits. Yeah, if you could get that, Barb.
Some of them were extremely elaborate. I
Yeah,
don't
Yeah, no,
need that.
less is more.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
It's like,
You know, just a basic.
Adjusted to.
exactly. Exactly.
So if you two, have nothing, I would like to, move on till we get a couple of executive sessions coming up, and I won't want, we two people, and next, if we could have a motion, for non-public information that will. You have something?
Before you do, I just wanted to give these to you, kind of Amy requested it and it's just go in your packet.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, we had all the
And I'll
resume.
make sure those go in the
We
packet
had all the
next time
interest.
too,
We didn't have
because
our
it didn't
pictures.
change.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't think it was necessary, but I understand now why you'd like to
Thank
have.
you.
Yes,
Oh,
no
excellent.
problem. Okay, now.
Oh, that's,
So do we have a motion to,
I'll make that motion.
I will second that.
all in favor?
Thank you, Elaine. Thank
See
you
you.
very much. Beeping again.
Control, sorry.
Okay, you okay?
Yeah, sure. Just high sugar after I had a donut,
Okay, okay.
not a problem. Commissioner Fowler has a motion.
I would like to make a motion that we increase the salary for Annette McLagan by $5,000 effective immediately. As her role of HR director / payroll manager.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right,
And we probably adjourn.
we're adjourned.
So Human Resources Director, Payroll Manager. 5,000, right? Okay.
Yes,
And Bob, for March, the first meeting in March, we need an executive session. At the meeting,
Okay.
all right,